Hi, good evening students. Today we are going to discuss the limitations of Ohm's law. Already we have discussed what is Ohm's law. The statement of Ohm's law goes like this. At constant temperature, the potential difference V across the two ends of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. And we have plotted the graph between the potential difference and the current for various materials like pure conductors, semiconductors. Now you can look at the graphical representation drawn for different types of substances. The first graph is drawn for metals. Okay, this is for pure metals such as copper, aluminium and other metals. The voltage is taken along the x-axis and the current is taken along the y-axis. If you plot a graph for normal conductors like copper, means it should be a straight line passing through the origin. Okay, but you see that as the temperature is continuously increased up to a certain extent, the current and potential difference are proportional to each other. But as the voltage is going beyond a certain limit, that is at extremely high voltages, you can see that the curve is deviating from its straight line path. So this is the actual straight line path and this is the portion, okay, it is deviating, okay. So this is the deviation from the straight line path. This will happen only at very high voltages. Okay, now the second graph, it is a voltage versus current. So this is the current in the forward direction, that is I forward, and this is in milliampere, and this is the current in the reverse direction, and the current is expressed in microampere. You can see that the second graph contains 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant you can see a graph between voltage and the current. This type of graph for which all the 4 quadrants we represent graphically, this is a semiconductor. Such materials are called as what is semiconductors. For example, diode I will take, a semiconductor device, namely diode. So these are semiconductor materials for which sometimes the voltage will be positive and sometimes the voltage will be negative. So how to apply the negative voltage means we have to that is interchange the positive and negative terminals, and once again we can vary the voltage and the corresponding variations in current can be measured. We are going to study this in the last chapter in electronics. Okay, anyhow, in this graph drawn for a semiconductor such as a diode, you can see that the voltage is first increased in the positive axis. So the current is straight up to some extent. After that it is going along a curved path. That means it is not directly proportional to that of the voltage already. Again, when the voltage is reversed, that is when the plus minus terminals are reversed, then you can see that when negative voltage, reverse voltage or negative voltage is applied to the diode, the pattern of the graph is in a different way. So we can very clearly understand from the graph that these semiconductors do not obey Ohm's law. And the third graph is also another particular type of LED, light emitting diode. Okay, it is also made up of a semiconductor material, and for example it is a gallium arsenide. Okay, this is the graph drawn for a substance called as a gallium arsenide. Ga for gallium, As for arsenide. Okay, and here what is the pattern of the graph? You see that initially you can see that from the origin up to this point it is a straight line. Okay, it is a straight line, okay, or linear portion. And here you can see that it is this is a non-linear portion, this also is non-linear. So this portion is what? Non-linear. Also, one very important observation you must notice here, that corresponding to this point, say this is point 1 and this is point number 2. At this point, if you project the graph on the x-axis, means this current is measured at a voltage V1 and the point 2 is projected on the x-axis and this corresponds to a voltage V2. So for two different voltages such as V1 and V2, the current remains the same. So same current is observed at two different voltages. That means V by I will not be a constant throughout the graph. So these are all some of the limitations. Okay. So in the first case is what for pure metals, the graph will be a straight line only up to a certain high voltage, beyond which if the voltage is increased further means there is a deviation from the straight line path. And in the second case, that is the case of a semiconductors such as diodes, the positive voltage is applied sometimes and the negative voltage is applied to the diode sometimes. So when the positive voltages are applied means this curved line is the nature of the graph. And when the reverse voltage or the negative voltage is applied also, the graph is not a straight line. So it also does not obey the Ohm's law. And in the third graph for gallium arsenide also, the voltage is not only deviating from straight line path, but the current value is the same for two different voltages. So these are all examples for what the limitations of Ohm's law. So now we are going to group the materials like ohmic and non-ohmic materials. So first of all, we will make a column between ohmic devices and non-ohmic devices. So the two types of devices are based on Ohm's law. We can classify them as ohmic devices and non-ohmic devices. So the first point is ohmic devices. Okay, they obey Ohm's law. They obey Ohm's law. And what should be the condition there? Do they obey Ohm's law? They do not obey Ohm's law. So here they do not obey Ohm's law. Then what is the shape of the graph between the voltage and current? Here the shape of the graph. So up to this portion Ohm's law is obeyed only. So we can call this straight line portion as what? Ohmic region of the graph. Ohmic region means so long as the voltage versus current graph is a straight line, up to that region is called a ohmic region. In the third graph also you can see here from the origin O up to the point 1 it is a straight line. So that can be called as what? Ohmic region. That is why it is a straight line. Is it not? So the second point, okay. So the second point is they are also called as linear devices. Ohmic devices are also called as what? Linear devices, because the voltage versus current graph is a straight line. So what must be the name of these non-ohmic devices? They must be called as what? Non-linear devices. Okay, non-linear devices. And here the for ohmic devices resistance R is equal to a constant. Okay, R is equal to a constant. Resistance will be a constant, and here R is not equal to a constant. It is not a constant. Okay, so I have summarized all these points. Now we are going to the next topic. The next topic is one type of resistor which is called as the carbon resistor. Have you understood this? Shall I rub the board? Okay. So this is a carbon resistor. In most of the electronic appliances like the TV remote, okay, the calculators, and inside the computers and all, if you open the circuit means you can look at some devices like the cylindrical shaped resistors which are called as carbon resistors. These carbon resistors are made up of some ceramic core. Inside there will be a ceramic material over which carbon material is coated, and there will be two metal leads, metal terminals for electrical connection. Okay. So this type of resistor is very small in size. So it is very compact. Okay, it is very compact means small in size, and it is inexpensible means very cheap. It is inexpensible, and also it is very stable. Okay, stable. It is not going to vary suddenly because there are some provisions inside the material to adjust according to the variations in the current through the resistor. So carbon resistor is one type of resistor which is made up of a ceramic core over which some carbon material is coated. It is provided with two metal leads for electrical contacts in the circuits. And what are the advantages of the carbon resistor? I told you it is compact, that is very small in size. It is inexpensible, that is very cheap, cost is very less, and also it is very stable according to the variations in the temperature, the variations in the current and the voltage. Okay, now What is the value of the resistance? What is the SI unit of resistance we have studied? It is ohm. And higher units means what? Kilo ohm and mega ohm. But if you take one resistor means the value of the resistance may not be printed as it is already very small in size. It is already very small in size. So the value of the resistance will not be printed over it. But there are some color rings which are over the resistor. Here you can see 4 rings. See 1, 2, 3 and 4 rings are available. These circular rings over this carbon resistor are of different colors or of the same colors. So what are all the different colors of VIBGR? Then in addition to VIBGR, black, grey and white. Okay, in addition to these colors, golden color, silver color, like that different colored rings will be over the carbon resistor. And each color is assigned some values. By knowing the values corresponding to these colors, the value of the carbon resistor can be estimated. This is called as color code of carbon resistance. Okay. So the color code, okay, color code of the resistance or color code of a carbon resistor. Okay. Now before that, you look at the how many rings are there? There are 4 rings. The first 2 rings, okay. First 2 rings, the first 2 rings, 1 and 2 are the significant figures, of resistance, significant figures of the resistance, okay. And the third ring, okay, the third ring is multiples, that is the powers of 10, okay. So it is powers of 10 or it is multiplier. So it is also called as multiplier ring. And the last ring, okay, fourth ring, the fourth ring is giving indication about the tolerance level, okay, tolerance level of the resistance. What is meant by tolerating power? Adjusting power. Whenever there is a variations in the voltage deviations may be there in the circuit, accordingly the resistance value will not be exactly constant all the time. It will be flexible. Okay, this flexibility of the resistance according to the variations in voltages and current only is called as the tolerance level of the resistor. Okay, so there are 4 colored rings on the carbon resistor and each color is assigned some numerical value. And based on that, we can determine the value of the resistance offered by the carbon resistor. So the first 2 rings, what is the role of the first 2 rings? It gives what information? The significant figure of the resistance. And the third ring gives what? It is a decimal multiplier or it gives the powers of 10. Okay. And the fourth ring is what? Gives the tolerance level. Okay. Now there is a tabular column, okay, for each color what is the value or what is the number assigned for each color you must remember, okay. I will tell you some shortcuts also. So what are the colors I am going to write now. So first one is black. First we start with the black color, then second one is brown, okay, black, brown, red. In order you have to write, okay, in the same order only you have to remember, okay, black, brown, red, orange, yellow, next is green, then blue, violet, grey, white. After that 2 more colors if you want you can include, that is gold and silver also. Gold and silver also you can write, okay. And now what are the values assigned for each color means for black it is 0, okay, the number. So this is 0 and for brown 1. Next continuous numbers only 2, 3 for yellow, 4 for yellow, 5 for green, then continuously 6, 7, 8 up to 9. Okay. For gold and silver, the values will be 10 power minus 1 and 10 power minus 2. Later afterwards we will write. And here the multiplier, okay, the multiplier. What is the decimal multiplier? The decimal multiplier for black is 10 power 0, and this is 10 power 1. This is 10 power 2, and continuously it is 10 power 3. For this 10 power 4, 10 power 5, 10 power 6, 10 power 7, and 10 power 8, 10 power 9. For this 10 power minus 1. So this is 10 power minus 1 and 10 power minus 2. These are all the decimal multipliers, okay. Then the last one is tolerance, okay, the tolerance. This tolerance is mainly for the last two colors only, understand, tolerance. Other colors normally we won't include, okay, very rare cases only these colors come into the tolerance level. Otherwise tolerance will be always greater number only. Greater number is assigned for what? Gold and silver. So the tolerance level for silver, that is gold, for gold is 5%, and the tolerance level for silver it is 10%. Sometimes the fourth ring may not be present. Fourth ring may not be present means what? It is colorless. So in that case, if there is no color, then the tolerance level is the highest, okay. The highest tolerance level is what? 20%. Normally 10% to 20% the tolerance level will be available. That is why for other colors they have not indicated the tolerance level, because tolerance, if it is very low, means what is the use of the resistance? Even in human beings also we must have tolerance. Much tolerance is required. So physics is everywhere. That is why I am saying. Anyhow, we have to learn from this that tolerance is more, okay. Then only the stability will be more, okay. Okay students, now you just have a flash reading of all the colors starting from what? Black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, grey, white. Up to this only the colors. Afterwards this is gold and silver and no color. Now there is a shortcut. There is a shortcut to remember this sequence, because in examination they will give some color rings and ask you to determine the value of the resistance. For that you have to remember which color is assigned which value and all you have to remember. For that in the textbooks and all they have given a sequence, okay. So that sequence you have to learn and you have to remember always, okay. So we started with which color? Black, next followed by brown. So you remember like this: B for black and this B for what? Brown. Then these three colors R, O, Y, okay. First these two separately I am writing, okay. Next is what? R, O, Y. So I am writing what? R, O, Y separately. And then green and blue. 2 followed by 3, again 2. So this is what? Green and blue. And these three. So violet, grey and white. So remember the sequence of colors also. You can write 2, 3, 2, 3, 23, 23, like that you can keep in your mind. And this BB is the initial of a person. So this is B, initial of a person is BB. Name of the person is what? Roy. And he belongs to a country, Great Britain, okay. BB Roy of Great Britain. This is sequence given in the books, understand? So BB Roy of Great Britain has a BGW is a very good wife, very good wife. So BB ROY GB and BGW, all colors are coming. This is a mnemonic. So usually it is better to remember the mnemonic more than the values, okay. Remembering all the values, if you remember it is good. If you don't remember, at least you can remember this sequence. This mnemonic will give you that is sequence of colors. So BB Roy of Great Britain has a very good wife. So the BB is what? Black and brown. So again you should not confuse brown first and black next. Again for that one shortcut I will tell you. The two extreme colors are black and white. The two extreme colors are what? Black and white, you can keep in your mind. Is it not? That's good. So black, brown, red, orange, yellow, and green, blue, violet, then gray, white, then gold, silver, and if there is no color. Understand? Now I am going to explain how to find out the value of the resistance. Okay, very simple, very simple. So only one numerical we are going to do. You can have this table for your reference, and let us take the first ring. Okay, the first ring is red, and the second ring is also red, third also is red, and the fourth ring is silver. Okay, this is the best example from which you can learn thoroughly how to find the value of the resistance. Now you look at that table and tell me what are the values assigned for red. All three rings are red. One and only value for red is what? 2. So first 2 digits I told you what significant figure of the resistance. So the value of resistance must be equal to, first is red is 2, second one is red 2. So the first 2 digits give the significant figure of the resistance multiplied by decimal multiplier means what? Powers of 10. So the third ring is also red. So 10 raised to the power how much? Red 2. 10 raised to the power 2. Okay. And plus or minus. This plus or minus gives you the tolerance level. Okay. On the positive side and negative side, by how much the resistance is going to vary. That is the tolerance level. And what is the color given for that? Tolerance ring is what? Silver. For silver, how much percentage? You see that it is 10%. So this is plus 10%. So the value of the resistance R must be equal to 2 into 10 power 2 is what? 2200 plus or minus 10%. And this is the value of the resistance in ohm. So what is 10%? What is 10% of 2200 is equal to what? 10 by 100 into 2200. Is it not? So this is equal to how much? 220 ohm. So the actual value of resistance must be equal to 2200 plus or minus 220 ohm. On the higher side, what should be its value? On the higher side, what is its R? Higher value means what? This is 2200 plus 220. Is it not? So 200 plus 220 is 2420 ohm. So this will be the highest value attained by the carbon resistor. Similarly, you can tell me now what must be the lowest value attained by the carbon resistor? 2200 minus 220. So this is 2000 minus 20 is what? 1980. Is it not? So this is 1980 ohm. So if you add 20, correct, it is right. So what should be the highest value of the carbon resistor attainable is it is plus 10%. That is 2420 ohm. And what should be the lowest value reachable by this carbon resistance? That is equal to 1980 ohm. I hope you must have understood. Have you all understood? Okay, shall we go to the next topic? Okay, we will see in the next video.